feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
This game's not over. We're just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. What it do, baby? It is Talk Your Team Tuesday, and it is time for the Week 10 wrap. And, man, what a crazy week it was in the world of football from Thursday all the way through Sunday. And then last night, where's Bills Mafia at? Bills Mafia, I want to come to you correct now. No disrespect, but I've been trying to tell y'all the problem might not be your quarterback. A lot of folks are trying to say it's the quarterback. I don't believe that. I'm telling you, no bigger fan of Josh Allen than me. I understand y'all just fired your offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey. Okay, but the problem might be bigger than that. The problem might be sitting right in the head coaching's chair. Now, I know y'all don't want to hear that. I know y'all want to come for me. Who is this dude? What does he know about football and everything like this? But I just got to ask you, has this dude, your head coach, Sean McDermott, gotten you guys to the level that you need to be with all the talent, all the experience? Y'all not a young team. Y'all not a rookie team. Y'all don't have a bunch of young cats running around trying to figure it out. Y'all got a very seasoned, and I'm not talking about old. I'm talking about you got some players who've been in this league, who know how to win, who have, just waiting to take that next step. And yes. Y'all got into the AFC Championship game. You battled, man, by, toe-to-toe with Kansas City, toe-to-toe with Cincinnati. Y'all have done that. But the question is, where is that next step? Where is the maturation of this team to take that next step? And in fact, if you look at Kansas City, y'all going backwards. If you look at even Cincinnati, with the exception of the way they started this year, y'all are going backwards. So I'm just telling you, man, a lot of folks try to say that a guy like Mike Tomlin is just a rah-rah guy. What's Sean McDermott doing? What is he doing? I mean, maybe he's not a rah-rah guy. Maybe he's the tough guy. But what's the tough guy doing to get you all to the next level? And I got news for you. There's another couple of losses on that schedule. I know they play the games out. But there are another couple of losses on that schedule. And what's going to happen? You're 5-5 now. 5-5 now. What happens if you got 7 losses? I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's possible. When are y'all going to start looking at Sean McDermott to say, I mean, again, I'm old school. Call me the old dude. Sit, say get off my lawn and shout at the clouds and stuff like that. Marty Schottenheimer got fired with 13 wins. Sometimes that's not the guy to get you to where you want to be. And folks always talk about what a great guy this person is. Invite him over for dinner. Invite him to the most meaningful moments of your life. But that doesn't mean he should be your head coach. Just saying. I'm just saying. Here's the deal. I'm going to say it one more time. I said it last week. I'm going to say it this week. If Bill Belichick gets let go from New England, and y'all still got Sean McDermott sitting at 5-5 or 8-9 or 9-8 even, that's an underperformance of a team that should be competing blow by blow, game by game with the best of the best in the entire league, not just in the AFC, but in the entire league. If Bill Belichick's out there and you're stuck with Sean McDermott, baby, you better get Bill Belichick to take you to that next level. I'm just saying, Bills Mafia, love for you, respect for you, man. Nobody gets down harder than the Bills Mafia. I mean it, man. Much respect. But, man, I sure hate what's happening to that organization under the leadership and the direction of a guy that, okay, all right. I'm just saying. All right, so anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. Some games that just like, what in the world happened to Jacksonville? I thought they were ready to take that next step in the AFC South. And, man, they got dog walked. I mean, you know how I like to say it. And then what happened to the Baltimore Ravens? You got a big lead like that against a team like Cleveland, and you end up getting walked down and passed up. And then we got to talk about those Houston Texans. So y'all lock it down. Y'all stay put. We're going to be back right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Listen, it's Talk Your Team Tuesday, so get ready to talk your teams. And no, I'm not talking about the Mizzou Tigers, so don't give me that. Anyway, y'all get at me. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
My name is Dennis Jeter, and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
Yeah, we're back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday out here where I'm at. In fact, I was gonna go sit down by the lake, but I got nervous. I don't know if my internet's gonna be sketchy, and I'm trying to put out quality programming, so I don't want to be down there by the lake trying to flex, and my internet is shoddy. So one of these days, but right now I'll just give you the view. So things are real nice here. Big shout out to Kimberlyn Negret. What's going on with you? Here she go. Got to talk about me. Please. Anyway, Keith Hennig said, hey, everybody, what's going on? And Keith Hennig, every time you do this, man, I have to laugh. After 50 years of watching the NFL, I know nothing about the NFL. You do. Yeah, Kim, I sported the shirt today because, man, they fired their head coach yesterday. I mean, come on. So the man lost to the team that y'all took him from. So it was personal. It wasn't business. You know how they say, oh, it ain't personal, it's just business. That was personal. And I understand there was some other stuff going on, but behind the scenes. But man, I mean, they fired, to me, one of the coolest and one of the best coaches in the league. I don't know why folks can't win at Southern. I don't understand that. In fact, there are two areas that if you can't win in those areas, I don't know where you can. And that's Louisiana and Texas. Like, why can't schools win in those areas? You are a recruiting hotbed. You are recruiting, and you got close proximity to, watch this. At Louisiana, you got close proximity to Florida, where the speed is, and you ain't too far to get kids to come from California. In fact, when I was down in Louisiana, hanging out with the good folks at at Xavier University in New Orleans, they had a lot of kids there from California, a lot of kids there from Chicago, a lot of kids, man. So you just got to recruit, man. So I'll say the same thing about Texas. I'm not just knocking HBCUs. Well, believe me, my heart and my money go to Southern University. So, but what's up with A&M? Because Keith, you're the perfect setup dude. What's up with A&M? How come they can't win there? Now you can't blame it on Kevin Sumlin. You remember they tried to blame it all on Kevin Sumlin? Well, what has happened since Kevin Sumlin? You just brought a dude in, gave him $75 million and all this other money, and guess what? Now you got to pay him $77, almost $78 million to stay home. You're going to be paying this dude through 2033, 2031, somewhere around there. That's ridiculous. And it just goes to show, just because you have money doesn't mean you're going to win. Just ask the New York Yankees. Just because you have money does not mean you can buy championships. And that's why you got to get good coaching. Go back to the Buffalo Bills situation. Got to get good coaching. Say what you want to say about Mike Tomlin. Never had a losing record. And oh yeah, by the way, their record is a lot better right now than a lot of people thought that they were. So, again, man, Southern University, look, take the time, get the right coach in that's not going to just talk the talk, but will walk the walk on the field and in the recruitment. You got to recruit. If you're not going to get a head coach that can recruit, then at least get a head coach that has access to good recruiters. So Keith Hennig said, they are in Bryan College Station. No one wants to live there. Yeah, I know that area very well, having pastored up just past that in Calvert, Texas. Up in Calvert, Texas, you have to go right through Bryan College Station from where I was living. And yeah, you're right. It ain't a lot going on. But let me just say this, though. If you can recruit in Gainesville, Florida, you ought to be able to recruit in Bryan College Station. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to give any excuses, but yeah, they got to figure it out. Okay, let me get to some of these games. From this weekend. Of course, last night, man, the Broncos beating the Bills 24-21 shocked everybody. And it's amazing how good Denver is when not Russell Westbrook, but the head coach shuts his mouth and just coaches. Not trying to say provocative things, not trying to put Russ in his place. Shut up and coach, and now we got something going on. The Broncos are now 4-5 all of a sudden. And oh yeah, by the way, Russell Wilson, another efficient an outing. Russell Wilson last night was 24 for 29. Let me make that make sense for you. He only missed on 5 passes for the whole game. And I'm not talking about he was 5 for 10. I'm not saying he was 10 for 15 or 15 for 20. He was 24 for 29, 193 yards. So he wasn't airing it out downfield, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he protected the ball. Josh Allen, unfortunately, threw 2 interceptions, and they turned the ball over 4 times. So there again, Denver, a whole different team when the coach shuts his mouth and just plays. All right, so then let's get to early Sunday morning when the Colts and the Patriots got together in New England. Again, I'm not trying to hit y'all with the I told you so, but Mac Jones wasn't it. Where's Todd Malcolm when you need him? Where is Todd Malcolm when you need him? Mac Jones, yeah, he's going to be the best out of that draft class. Not. I said the dude didn't have arm strength, and now guess what? Teams have figured out he does not have arm strength. And it's amazing what you can do when you take away his short check down passes. He lost to the Colts 10-6 and got benched on the final drive. He got blessed out by Billie O'Brien on the sidelines, and they lost 10-6. You can't score more than 6 points against the Colts. That's horrible. Again, Bill Belichick to Buffalo. Write it down. All right, then you had the Cleveland Browns taking down the Baltimore Ravens, and the deal in that one was Baltimore was up in that game big. And unfortunately could not hold on to the lead and ended up losing that one. So again, can't blame everybody for that. Yeah, Lamar Jackson did have some untimely turnovers, but again, Cleveland improves to 6-3. Baltimore still holding on to the division at 7-3. And don't look now, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-3 after beating the Green Bay Packers 23-19. Jordan Love, man, you cannot turn the ball over. In fact, I think he's tied for the most interceptions in the league. Minnesota with Joshua, I am a rocket scientist, Dobbs at quarterback, beat the New Orleans Saints 27-19. Derek Carr out with concussion. Jameis Winston came in, threw an interception, but he also threw a touchdown. We'll see how they bounce back next week. But again, got to give love to Joshua. I am that smart, Dobbs, for leading his team to the win. And oh yeah, the San Francisco 49ers are back, baby. Now I don't know if they're back, but they sure rebounded in a big way with a 34-3 beatdown of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Around here, we call that getting dog walked. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers bounced back in the win column with a 20-6 win over the Tennessee Titans. What happened to all that Will Levis talk? Remember how Will Levis was going to be the next thing since Tom Brady? I told y'all, when a guy comes in, you haven't seen any film on him, and you can't go back to college. You got to look at how he plays in that system. Yeah, defensive coordinators didn't take long to figure him out. I'm not knocking the dude, but they were ready to crown him. You want to crown him? Crown him. They were ready to do that, and it didn't go well. Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray back, scrambling, doing his thing, and led his team to a 25-23 win over the Atlanta Falcons. I keep trying to tell y'all, Taylor Heineke ain't it, but, I know he went out with an injury, but still, it wasn't like the Falcons were up by a lot while he was in. Again, Cardinals with the win. And watch out, Detroit football balling. Man, I tell you, 41-38 over the Chargers. Say what you want to say. I even owe Dan Campbell an apology. I don't owe him an apology. I'll just say this. We're not going to let you do opening interviews for your next career move. We're going to just let you come in and do your thing. 41-38, the Lions are 7-2. All right, so I got to take a break. When I come back, I got to talk about those Texans, and I got to talk about those Cowboys on the lunch break. All right, let's see what Erica says. Erica says, my team is Mizzou, and I'm talking. Get ready to wear black and gold from head to toe. I said to you that they had to win the SEC in their side of the division. That's what I said to you. And I said, if they didn't, I ain't wearing nothing. I'm not wearing Mizzou nothing. So I think I'm sitting pretty good with where I stand. You, on the other hand, need to worry because I don't remember what I said you had to do, but I ain't wearing black and gold. No, I'm a to the window, to the wall. I'm a noop, baby. Do this, not that. Don't get me started. Big shout out to Roland Martin. It's his birthday today. No better alpha than Roland Martin. Big love to him. Belichick to retirement. Nah, he's going to the Bills. Bakey did well. His defense was awesome. Yeah, again, even a blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then. All right, let me go to the break. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents.
I am Colt Johnson, and welcome to
Go Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts.
If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
My name is Dennis Jeter, and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
Y'all, we back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Going through these games right now. Let me ask you a question: Can a 5-4 coach be considered for Coach of the Year? That's what the Houston Texans' DeMeco Ryans is with this team. One more win, and he will have doubled the win total from last year and match the combined win total for the last 2 seasons. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they are 1 game out of first place in the AFC South. And if the playoffs started today in the bracket standings, they would be the final wild card team. So can a 5-4 head coach at this stage be the NFL coach of the year? I know the answer to that. No, he's got to finish it off. He's got to get his team to the playoffs, or he's got to win the AFC South in order to be strongly considered. But to me, his name should be mentioned with that. Also should be mentioned with that should be C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud should not only be mentioned as the leading candidate to win the Rookie of the Year, he also should be in the, yes, I'm getting ready to say it, the MVP conversation. Led his team on a nice drive to get them in field goal range and win the doggone game. So you cannot be mad about that. That brother led them where they needed to be to get that game-winning field goal, threw for 356 yards, 23 for 39, 1 touchdown, and only his second interception of the season. I just, what else can you say? Everything that he is, Josh Allen right now is not. Everything that he is, other quarterbacks are not. And oh yeah, by the way, he is a rookie out of the Ohio State University, and he outdueled Joe Burrow, who threw for 347, 2 touchdowns, and 2 costly interceptions. Cincinnati, they had a chance. Unfortunately, their wide receiver dropped the ball in the end zone. And I was glad that they came around him and they let him know that one play did not cost the team the game, because there's so many other missed plays throughout the game. But the Texans defense dodged the bullet there. If there's one criticism that I have of the Texans, it's defensively. They've got to get to a place where they can stop stuff and shut it down, as opposed to having lucky plays happen on their behalf. So if I got to give them one criticism, they still got work to do on that defense, but the offense came to play. Running game a lot better. Singletary ran for $150 in that one, and a touchdown, and just, again, great performance by the Texans to get a quality win on the road over one of the teams that was actually one of the hottest teams in the league at that point. So big win for them. All right, got to talk about those Cowboys. Got to talk about those Dallas Cowboys as they dog walk the Giants again, this time 49-17. And Cowboy naysayers, what do you have to say negative about Dak this time? Are we going to talk about the 1 interception? We're going to talk about how he doesn't throw guys open. He threw for 404 yards, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdowns, including that 1 interception. If you're a fantasy player, he only got you 45 fantasy points. So what are we going to talk about negative about Dak Prescott this time? I keep telling y'all, the guy I want to talk about is Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard ran the ball 15 times for 55 yards. Yeah, nice average. But when is he going to break out like Zeke did when Zeke was the main man? That's what I want to know. As a team, they ran the ball well. But I want to know, when are we going to talk about Tony Pollard not living up to his part of it? Again, the Dallas Cowboys 6-3, right behind the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 8-1. All right, so let's go back to some more of these scores. Who else we got? Let me get through them all and put this up. All right, talk about Lions, Chargers, Seahawks, 29-26 over Washington. Let me just say this. King Doc, if you're out there listening, Willie Gibson, I know you probably won't do it. I need somebody who will have an adult version of a sports talk show. What's an adult version? Where we can cuss, where we can, if you want to bring one of your cigars on the show, if you want to, have something in your container, and we just go in from a perspective that you never, ever hear. When you in your room by yourself and you hear a commentator say something that's just absolutely crazy, you probably cuss a little bit then, but I want to put one on an adult-only PG-17 show. I do, and I want to produce it, and I want to sponsor it. I think there's a market for it. All my Christian friends are going to be like, hey. Notice I didn't say I was a Christian. I said all my Christian friends. I mean, hey, you can't do that. You got to give glory and honor to God. All of that. You don't like it, you don't agree with it, don't watch it. But the commentators, Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, Neum, talked about Geno Smith as if they were getting beat by 100 points. Oh, he's inconsistent, and he's this, and he's that, and he's the other, and da-da-da-da. And all Geno did was go out there and beat the Washington Commanders, 29-26. Yeah, did he have some balls that were not on point? Yeah, he did. But guess what? So did the other guy on the other side of the field. In fact, Sam Howell was 29 for 44 for 312. Geno Smith was 31 for 47 for 369, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. How in the Hades? See, I need that adult show. How in the Hades are you going to talk about Geno like he wasn't doing nothing and Sam like he was doing everything? And oh yeah, by the way, Seattle won the game, courtesy of Geno Smith. We need that show. We need that show. We need that show. I need some brothers who's going to go in with me and we just going, look, if you don't like that kind of talk, don't listen to it, but that's what we're going to do. All right, the Raiders, of course, beat the Jets 16-12. Big shout out to my guy who is now leading the Red 2-0 as the head coach of the Raiders. Give him the job. Give him the job, Mr. Davis. Give him the job. And then, of course, the Bears beat the Panthers on Thursday Night Football 16-13. So what your picks looking like? What are your picks looking like? What are your picks looking like? Let's see. Ahmad said Tony needs Zeke to relieve him. He's not an every down player. Well, yeah, that ain't what Jerry and them said. That's not what Jerry, Stephen Jones, and them said. They said this guy is a bell cow. You can ring him every time you want to. Clearly, he is not. Zeke, on the other hand, was that dude. Keith Hennig said, I'm in. Keith, don't get on there with me, man. You and me, bro, we can get on there and we can just cuss and we can drink our liquor and we can go in on these dudes. All right, so let's see. I'm a Jerry Jones hater. However, this year may be his Super Bowl year. Yeah, not as long as Philadelphia is in that discussion. Ahmed said, no, CJ not MVP. Yes, Rookie of the Year. Dak MVP and greatest of all time. Well, y'all sure can't figure out what y'all feel about Dak. I mean it. Good Lord. Y'all love him one day, you hate him the next. Now, all of a sudden, he's the greatest of all time and MVP candidate. Willie said, Buckeye. I know who he's talking about. CJ Stroud. Is he the greatest Buckeye quarterback ever? Is he the greatest Buckeye quarterback ever? Okay, I got to hit one more thing, and then I got to go. Of course, the news in college football was the suspension of Jim Harbaugh at Michigan for sign stealing on another level. They swear everybody does it. Well, you got caught doing it. And oh yeah, by the way, you guys were doing it on another level. Jim Harbaugh has since come out and said that he is innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, you are. But the powers that be in the league feel like they have seen enough, they have heard enough, and that they know enough to suspend you for the final 3 games. In other words, while you are innocent, they feel like it's best to have you off the field than on the field. So what I'm trying to understand, just like I've had the same conversation with the Houston Astros fans, why are you trying to justify cheating by saying other people cheat? In other words, you're not denying that you cheated. You're just saying that other people do it too. So how about this? You got caught. We're dealing with you right now. So you get suspended for 3 games. And oh yeah, we're going to finish the investigation to see if there are going to be other punitive damages, consequences to your action, like maybe stripping you all of some games, like maybe taking you those Big Ten titles that you have won maybe illegally. So yeah, it's a fair. And to call yourself America's team because you got caught cheating and your fan base seems to think that it's not fair that you have to sit out the final 3 games. You are America's team and you're part of Michigan. You're America's team over there by Michigan State. You're an America's team over there by Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan. You aren't America's team. You're in your head America's team. So got to get that out. And oh man, to the brother that was up there crying, Jim, I did this. The man did not die. Call him on the phone. Y'all go have drinks. And oh yeah, by the way, stay off of other people's sidelines trying to steal their signs. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except tune in tomorrow when we announce this week's winner of the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Somebody's going to win $50, and somebody's in line to win $500 cash. Y'all don't miss it. Y'all stay tuned. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
When the man said that Sharifa Barksdale is on the verge, she's getting ready to set the world record. And I lost concentration and I followed that hurdle. I was devastated.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba, y la estadounidense Sharifa Barksdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
Yeah, I turned pretty. I had a vehicle take a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out of her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and he did.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. Number 1, Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina has suspended his presidential campaign. Scott made the announcement in an interview on Fox News Sunday. He also said he has no plans of backing another Republican candidate, saying he believes the best way to be helpful is to withhold an endorsement in the primary. Number 2, in a recent ruling, Fulton County Superior Court Chief Judge Ural Glanville declared that rap lyrics can be admitted as evidence in the trial of alleged members of the Young Slime Life gang, including Grammy-winning rapper Young Thug. Critics of the use of rap lyrics in legal proceedings point to a perceived double standard, arguing that similar scrutiny has not been applied to artists from other genres. At the congressional level, a bill has been introduced to limit the use of an artist's creative expression as evidence of a form of confession in court. Number 3, according to Feeding America, 66% of Americans had to choose between food and medical care. Unfortunately, many of us have hard choices because of medical bills or simply choose not to get the care we need due to the more pressing need to feed our families. Food insecurity is a bigger problem than most realize, and for many families, causes much more than hunger pains. Number 4, Bay Area dermatologist and University of California, San Francisco professor Dr. Howard Maybach, now in his mid-90s, was accused of using at least 2,600 black male inmates in chemical experiments during the 1960s and 70s. The doctor has denied the claims and remains employed as a professor at the university and has been a frequent expert witness in court cases involving chemical exposures to skin. In the wake of police killings of black people, a 2020 task force at UC San Francisco, led by faculty of color, spurred the probe that ultimately accused Maybach of conducting racist research on black prisoners and demanded his resignation. Number 5. In a recent update, the IRS made significant changes to federal income tax brackets and standard deductions for the year 2024, affecting our returns that we file in 2025. These adjustments are meant to adapt to the changing financial world and make sure taxes are distributed fairly. Our celebrity CPA to the stars, Katrina M. Kraft, breaks down all the numbers in today's newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Being honest is a lot less work. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, political contributor Cameron Riley, and producer extraordinaire Ahmed Gordon as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College, an HBCU in Concord, North Carolina, needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters, alumni, and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing needs by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join the thousands of donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SibylWilkes.com for more information. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.